Hi there. Good evening. Good morning. Good afternoon. Wherever you are in the world, and welcome to my weekly Sunday, what is Sunday evening for me, sort of reflections, my vlog. Really just looking at where I am, where we are with lipedema, and really what's going on. I have to say, it has been the most restful, quiet, and self-care weekend. Part of it was that it's very cold here in New England, and where I am in Mansfield. Hold on a minute. I'm just getting the weather for today because, oh my God, it's cold. Let's see, yesterday it was in the 20s. Today it's in the low 30s. Tomorrow it's going back to the 20s. Amazing. It's just been a very cold sprout, but very little snow, which well, when it gets that cold, it doesn't snow. It needs to be somewhat warmer in order to snow. But I woke up yesterday and the lake was frozen. The, as far as I could see, the lake was frozen over. Anyway, let's see. Hi from Kentucky. Hi, Sandra. 40s here today. That's not bad. Hi, Sunwoo. Um, um, I just, I, I want to talk a little bit about self-care. I'm, as I've said numerous times, I'm in my 70s, and I pictured myself being and looking and feeling much older than this in my 70s. Except that I was sick for quite a while. When I was sick, I felt like I was in my 90s, but now that I'm feeling so good, I feel like I'm ready to run a marathon again, except in the pool, in the water. Um, oh, Jenny's Wet and Wild again in the Isle of Wight in the UK. And Marilee's in the Pacific Northwest is 53. That's balmy. So let's think together about this self care and rest. You know, I'm so used to being busy. I'm so used to having a task. Not that I didn't, even over the weekend, I rearranged furniture a little bit. That's why I'm in a different location. The tree, I'm usually, here's the tree. I'm usually on the other side of the couch. So I decided to try this side of the couch. And so I moved my ottomans so that I could stretch out on the other side of the couch. And also, I have to say that I got the most wonderful tutorial from my next door neighbor. Thank you, Jeff. My next door neighbor showed me how to um, light a fire in my stove. Wait, let me show you. Can you see it there? I'm not sure if you can see it. I don't know. It's right next to the stairs. No, it's too dark. You can't see it, and and the fire died out, so you probably can't see it now. Um, hi from India. Oh, thanks, Sandy. Sandra. I don't know, Sandra or Sandy. You tell me what you prefer. I can't remember. She says my hair looks nice. I had it cut a couple weeks ago, and it takes a couple weeks for the curls to come back after she cuts it. The other thing is my hair's thinning out. I feel like life is like something called whack-a-mole. I don't know if you remember I'm dating myself. Way back when I'd go to the amusement park, there was this game called Whack-A-Mole, and you'd whack one thing down and two would pop up. And we've often thought of Whack-A-Mole as a indicator of what can happen when, you handle one thing and then two other things appear. Well, I feel like I've just gotten so much better. I say it every week. I am grateful, grateful, grateful for my health. I am so grateful for the doctors, mostly Dr. Perry and Dr. Perrin, but Dr. Perry's the one that I've been seeing for over a year, driving down to New Jersey. Oh my God, he has just been a gem and has helped me get better. So I'm like on a roll. So as I go through all of this and I, find myself, you know, being appreciative. I say it all the time. I feel like I'm a broken record. Grateful. And then there's this thing that I started with talking about self care. And the thing about self care is the kind of self care is sometimes doing very little. Even though I rearranged just a tad bit rearranged, it wasn't a big deal, just changing the positioning so that I could look at the fire more, which it's died out now. I let it die out, but it was rage, it's really rumbling and a nice rumbling fire for probably 6 hours, maybe. I kept adding wood to it. And then I said, nah, I think it's okay. It's time for it to die out. So, oh, so you like Sandra. Sandra is fine. Oh, Julie's here from Camarillo, California. Hi, Julie. So, this whole thing about self care is so think about it. What are the things that you do for self care? One of the things that I do is I've had the fire. I've, had the Christmas tree. I've spent time with the cats. I made room in front of the fireplace so the cat could curl up. She loves it, but she doesn't like to get too close because it's hot, because it throws off heat. So she stays back a bit. Tried to get a picture, but I couldn't get it. Next time. Anyway. So, all right. I do want to invite you. Hi, Prolander 776. So good to see you. I'm glad you subscribed. Um, okay. I want to say that we have a fireside chat coming up, and it is this week. Today is the 7th. It's Thursday. I had to count on my fingers, but it is on Thursday. I'm going to go through, invite you, and say, come, 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 come. I think you'll love it. Okay, it is with Nora Carr. Nora Carr. Here's Nora. She's a nurse practitioner. She's also a lipedema lady, and she is just lovely. Back in June, I we have face-to-face gatherings all across the country. Different people will host them. And in June of last year, no, June of this year, I had moved in July of last summer, not this past summer, but the summer before, the summer of 2024. I moved here to Mansfield to my amazing lakeside hobbit house. My hobbit house by the lake. Oh, I love it so much. And so, um, I had been having people in get-togethers, and we would go to Panera in Porter Square in Cambridge, close to me, like a couple blocks from where I was living. And then I thought to myself, well, no, I can't do that. I'm not going to go back up to Cambridge. Didn't have a car at that point, and lots of other things. And I wasn't driving, and whatever. And I didn't even want to find a place locally. And then I thought, oh my God, why don't I just invite people to my beautiful little lakeside house? So I did. And Nora and Barbara and Carol and Renee. So it was just a few of the lipedema ladies. I live about an hour south of Boston. Anyway, Nora has been going through a surgery process. She has been working with Dr. Volstein in New Jersey. So she goes down to New Jersey. She's had 2 surgeries so far. And she was here, must have been 3 or 4 Sundays ago. A few Sundays ago, early November, maybe about a month ago. And so I said to her, well, why don't you come and do my, reflections with me, and we'll talk about what's been going on. So we did. And it was wonderful. In fact, it was so wonderful. I said to her, you're filled with such great information, and I want to share that with the community. So let's set up a fireside chat. So we did. Our fireside chats are very informal. They are come, ask your questions, really a candid conversation about lipedema surgery from diagnosis to recovery. So Nora's had, I believe at this point, 2 surgeries. I believe she's going to have more. We'll find out more on Thursday. So all you have to do is sign up. It's a freebie. And this is a little bit about Nora, and it's in 4 days. Come join us. Love to have you. It just helps continually to build connection within our community. Okay, Jolly Rancher. Hello, hello. Okay. Jolly Rancher 000. Not quite sure. It's a bunch of messages in the chat, but not quite sure. Anyway, hello and welcome. So, self care and being able to be with us in community and to talk about and ask your questions about lipedema surgery and find out about the process. The other thing about Nora is that she's incredibly knowledgeable about insurance. And that was something because she had to go through a lot, and she'll talk about it on Thursday. So that's what's happening this weekend. That's what's coming up this week. And of course, we're in the midst of the holiday season, which I must say, I didn't used to love it as much as I'm loving it now. For some reason, my heart has just opened wide. And I'm just loving, loving, loving the holiday season, even though I'm not doing a whole lot. There was a craft fair. I used to do all the craft fairs. And anyway, there was a craft fair locally this weekend. And I thought about it, and I almost did, but with the weather being so cold and everything, I thought, I'm just going to snuggle down. I'm snuggling in. Um, you know, and so I did. That's what I did. And each one of you have been part of my snuggling in for the weekend. So thank you for showing up. Thank you for being part of our community. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for all of what it is to make it part of how we move forward. All right, everyone, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Take care and bye.